When it comes to the NFL, what do we watch it for? Excitement, right? Exciting refs, exciting players, exciting touchdowns, exciting teams. We associate entertaining teams as ones that consistently make the playoffs. The Rams, Chiefs, Bills, Packers, Titans, NFC East Division winner. These are all teams that are constantly found in the postseason. So one of these teams has to be the league's most exciting, right? Actually, it's the Chargers. Now, rest assured, my friends, that the title of this video is not clickbait. Neither is the video. I truly believe the Los Angeles Chargers are the NFL's most entertaining team. But how, you might ask, can a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 3 years be that fun to watch? Come with me on the journey. There is much to learn because the Chargers aren't a winning team. They are a gift. To embrace football at its core is to let go of conventional wisdom and associating teams with wins and losses. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sing the praises of the Texans because they're garbage. No offense to Texans fans are garbage. No, the Chargers are completely different from any other team, and I would go so far as to say they should be on primetime every week. This goes into the point I'm trying to make. The Chargers are cartoon characters disguised as a football team. When they lose games, it often feels like they're the comic villain getting foiled, like they snatched victory from the jaws of defeat only to drop victory back into the jaws by accident. That happens when they win games too. When other teams like the Bills, Rams, and Chiefs win, it comes because we expected, because these teams play so dominant they're generally not in many close games. But for the Chargers, the way they win is so cartoonish it validates the old sarcastic quip, "That went exactly as planned." It's awesome. Anyway, to have an exciting team, you must have exciting pieces, and it's safe to say the Chargers have them. Let's start out with the deep passing king himself, Justin Herbert. If you want to know how many years the Oregon coaching staff, deserves in prison, consider Herbert's reputation getting drafted into the NFL as opposed to now. The Chargers were thought to have had the worst quarterback of the big three QBs in the 2020 class, including Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa. Now many are saying he's the absolute best, myself included. When it comes to Herbert, he throws what I like to call piss missiles. It's a term I like to use to describe a certain kind of pass. A fastball thrown like a line drive or a home run into impossible windows and distances, if you will. Just take a look at some of these throws Herbert is making. Just take a look at them. How many quarterbacks are making these throws just by counting the fingers on your hands? How many quarterbacks can throw a line drive 50 yards across the field into a tight window? Very few. Herbert has innovated deep passing in the modern NFL in my eyes. It's not all that rare to see quarterbacks that can push passes aggressively into small windows while also expertly taking care of the football, but Herbert does it in a style that makes him unique, so he's the perfect quarterback to lead the Chargers offense. Next, let's take a look at their head coach, Brandon Staley. Staley's coaching style is polarizing because he goes for it on fourth downs nonstop. In fact, the 2021 Chargers converted more fourth downs than any other team in NFL history with an extra game. But what I find refreshing is that he doesn't try to restrain his franchise QB from keeping the Chargers in games. Also, he hates his defense, especially the run defense, which really struggled in 2021. How else can you explain him going for it on fourth down from his own 18 in a win-or-go-home game? Now, in retrospect, I don't know how much I believe this, but in the Week 18 matchup against the Raiders, the game was tied just as overtime was about to conclude. A tie would have sent both the Chargers and Raiders into the playoffs. The Raiders looked like they were willing to play for a tie based on their play calls. And then Staley called a timeout and sent the NFL into mass hysteria. You know the rest. The Raiders kick a field goal, they make the playoffs, the Chargers do not. So yeah, Brandon Staley is an aggressive decision maker with crackhead energy, making him the perfect coach for this team. The Chargers also have some stars and borderline superstars that go beyond the two names I just listed. Austin Eckler's blend of rushing and receiving makes him one of the best running backs in the game and a fantasy demon. Keenan Allen is the slowest receiver in NFL history to be considered elite. Mike Williams is a master of collecting 50-50 passes and just got paid. Then there's guys on the line like Rashawn Slater and Corey Linsley that prevent the Chargers from having the Bengals' offensive line. Stopping the run on defense doesn't exist, but there's the talents of incredible edge rusher Joey Bosa and defensive back Derwin James, a superstar that can play whatever position he's fit into at an elite level. Hey, they even traded for Khalil Mack too, a former Raider. So even though depth has been a problem for this team, there's enough talent to make them interesting to watch. And this is really where the Chargers become my favorite team to break down. See, if you've watched the last decade of Chargers football, trademark, you may have noticed the amount of close games they've found themselves in. This is something that pretty much spans the entirety of the Phillip Rivers era, but to save time, let's just look at the last 2 years, which encompass the entire Justin Herbert era so far. Now, I define close games as matchups where a team with the ball down 1 to 8 points has the chance to take the lead or tie the game in the fourth quarter. These do not include one-score games where the trailing team does not have the ball when down a score. For example, the Bucs-Washington game from 2021 doesn't count because while the Bucs were trailing by a score, Washington ran out the clock and went up 2 scores by the time the Bucs got the ball back again. The amount of close games a team has divided by the total amount of games they've played goes down as close game percentage. As we can see, many of the best teams have low close game percentages as they don't often find themselves in many one-score affairs. And then there's the Chargers, whose 25 close games are the most from any team since 2020. And out of 33 games played in the Justin Herbert era, over 75% of their games have been close, easily the most from any team. Let's put it this way, the only people that should refuse to enjoy the Chargers are Chargers fans. This team is heart attack after heart attack with no signs of mercy or ease or slowing down. They'll win and lose games in the most absurd ways possible, pretty much any way they want to. That is why I love watching them so much. Once again, the Chargers do not have football players. They have writers. The script from this season of Chargers football, trademark, was jam-packed with ideas and plot twists, keeping the formula fresh and a hit with audiences everywhere. For more on that, let's go through their 2021 season and see how they were able to win and lose games. Week 1, they face Mr. Snyder and the Washington Commanders. Herbert throws a game-winning touchdown in the fourth quarter, and we get a relatively normal season premiere. But then week 2 comes, and just when you got used to the show, the writers give you a big middle finger and destroy your expectations. First off, Herbert's throwing passes like this and this. Second, the Chargers Stadium, SoFi, reserved for Chargers fans, is completely dominated by Cowboys fans. Every game they play has zero home field advantage. They might as well be playing on the road all 17 games. But that only adds to the unique identity this team brings. Third, in this game, the Chargers have 2 touchdowns taken away by penalties. Herbert is ruled to have been sacked here despite clearly not being down and not having forward progress stopped, as he is intentionally walking backward. They settle for a game-tying field goal and lose on a game-ending field goal. Week 3, they're at Arrowhead facing the Chiefs. Herbert absolutely goes off, and that's a good thing because the Chargers are charging away a 14-3 lead. 2-minute drill. Game tied at 24, 4th and 9. They go for it. Don't get it, but get a first down on pass interference. Get a touchdown 2 plays later and miss the extra point because if the Chargers are going to win, they're going to do it in the most Chargers way imaginable. They do, by 6. They just went in and beat the AFC's best team, the AFC champion of the last 2 years. I almost said 3. It's 2. They could actually make a playoff run now. They lead the AFC West. Week 4, the Chargers go up 21-0. Whoops, they're the Chargers, so now it's 21-14. The Raiders have the ball in the fourth quarter. They drive inside the 30, and Derek Carr just takes this sack. Oh, okay, we'll take that. After a missed field goal, the Chargers get a crucial 4th down conversion and eventually take it into the end zone for a game-sealing touchdown. Week 5. No! They're trailing on the road at home to the Browns by 2 scores and then become the first team in NFL history to win despite allowing 40 points, 500 yards of offense, and coming away with 0 takeaways in the same game. Only the Chargers, who have their first 4-1 start in 7 years, can do that. Week 6. No! They get the shit beat out of them by the Ravens, who have a quarterback famous for shitting. Week 7, nothing happens because they're on bye. Week 8, something happens because they're playing football again. They're up on the Patriots entering the fourth quarter, and then no. Jared Cook accidentally forgets to run a route or see the ball come his way. The Patriots get a pick six out of the confusion and take a lead that they never relinquish. Week 9, Herbert makes this throw. Are you kidding me? Excuse me. Also, the game is close, but the Chargers win in the walk-off field goal. Week 10, this matchup is big because they're facing the Vikings, a team with similar levels of crackhead energy. This should be the most chaotic, unpredictable matchup of the year. Well, it's unpredictable in that it's underwhelming. It's kind of close, I guess, but the Chargers never really get the ball back down one score. So, this isn't really the vintage Chargers game I was expecting. Week 11, Sunday night against the Steelers. The Chargers are up 27-10, inches away from the fourth quarter, and are about to secure a comfortable win. See, they've scored on all 5 of their drives so far, which is about to end because they have a lead to blow. The Steelers kick for 3 points, then they score a touchdown with help from a blocked punt. Get used to this. The Chargers are famous for some legendarily atrocious special teams performances. After this, the Chargers score a touchdown in response, then the Steelers score another touchdown. Then this Herbert pass gets batted 30,000 feet above the earth before getting picked, which is followed by a game-tying touchdown. After getting stuffed on fourth down, the Steelers take over and kick a field goal to take the lead. The Chargers have blown a 17-point lead in what feels like 3 plays later. Herbert throws a touchdown to Mike Williams, who is in camouflage and completely uncovered. The Chargers win after the Steelers inexcusably fail to convert a makeable 4th and 29. What the fuck did I just watch? Week 12 at Denver. The Chargers hold on to the ball for 13 minutes and 45 seconds in the third quarter, and they come away with 0 points. Week 13 at Cincinnati. The Chargers race off to a 24-0 lead, only to see that lead shrink to 24-22 entering the fourth quarter because Chargers. The Bengals have the ball in enemy territory and have eyes on a go-ahead touchdown to complete an incredible comeback. Or Joe Mixon can fumble for the second time in as many games against the Chargers as they scoop it up the other way for a touchdown, because Chargers. And then the Chargers score 10 more points to make the final score 41-22. Week 14, the win against the Giants is nothing special, but Justin Herbert boom, launches an absolute piss missile. Week 15, it's time to take on the Chiefs again, this time at home in a crucial road game. I am so sorry for the shot, Chargers fan. Fourth quarter, the Chargers get it to the goal line, but running back Joshua Kelly fumbles just before the end zone plane and gives the ball to the Chiefs, who give it right back to the Chargers on this ridiculously athletic interception by outside linebacker Uchenna Nwosu. Now they score a touchdown. Then Travis Kelce, uncovered, runs down to the 1 on 69 yards. That's the sex number. 2 plays later, the Chiefs score a touchdown, then somehow convert the game-tying 2-point conversion when Patrick Mahomes makes Patrick Mahomes things happen. The Chargers answer right back with a touchdown to go up 7, and the Chiefs tie it up again with another touchdown. Neither team can put a game-winning drive together, so it goes in overtime. The Chiefs win the coin toss, but all the Chargers have to do is stop Travis Kelce, and Kelce walks in for the game-winning score. Week 16 at Houston. The Chargers are 11-point road favorites. Now, remember when I made a throwaway joke at the beginning of this video at the expense of the Texans? Yeah, they blew out the Chargers, who lost a game by 2 scores despite not even punting once. Now, I know what you're thinking. Shouldn't it be a death sentence to lose an upset of this magnitude, especially if you're a playoff team in a playoff hunt? No, because you see, this wasn't an upset. This is peak Chargers football. Trademark. Week 17, we get a bit of a twist as the Chargers actually win a game easily, getting revenge on the Broncos with a 34-13 blowout win. This sets the stage for a win, tie, or go-home affair against the Raiders on the final game of the regular season. Week 18. The last few drives of this game are peak Chargers football. With 4.5 minutes left in regulation on a 4th and 21, trailing by 2 scores, Justin Herbert effortlessly finds Josh Palmer in the end zone to make the game a 1-score affair. The defense gets a stop, and on the last drive of regulation, Herbert completes 6 of 17 passes, but 3 of them go for 4th downs, and a 4th results in a touchdown to Mike Williams as time expires, leading to overtime. As I said at the beginning, both teams can make the playoffs if they just kneel down. Both teams traded field goals. Herbert converted some more fourth downs, and then the run defense. After the infamous timeout, the Chargers' run defense gave up a crucial 3rd and 4 draw and can only watch as the Raiders move on to the playoffs while a memorable season from their superstar QB comes to a brutal end. Yes, not playing for the tie is infuriating, and a lot of people have gotten furious at the timeout Brandon Staley used. This would have been hilarious if both teams made the playoffs on a tie. It would have been so funny. But once again, it's another twist that the writers of Chargers football have come away with, defying our odds and giving us fresh stories that we can pass down from generation to generation. The Chargers are characters, actors, comedians. I say this as someone that follows as a die-hard neutral observer. They will always find a way to be in a one-score game in the fourth quarter. It's just part of their nature. They have the quarterback to elevate them past these scenarios, but the defense is still a major work in progress. Combine this with a head coach that goes for fourth down from his own end zone, and the Chargers just transcend your average football team. This is a team that exists just to kill its most loyal fans, yet it does that in a way that's extremely fascinating and extremely fun. Time after time again, they're pioneering new ways to win and lose games. And who knows, maybe they'll invent new ways to tie next. All of this is what makes Chargers football. And that, in my opinion, is what makes them the most exciting team in the NFL. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.